It's been a long time since I've last seen you. Hope you're doing well. So what happened? Because I posted literally around this time last year, fully intending to vlog over the course of 2022, and then life happened, so I'll just give you the crash course right now. In the last video, you saw me making wedding decorations and making a birthday cake for Chris, both of which went great. Chris and I got married in March. Chris graduated from seminary in May, which was wildly exciting because I'd only ever known him as a student up until that point. So we were like, yeah, you know, life changes, life transitions, this is great. And then we were gonna like look for a job for him, which we had been given reasonable expectation that whole process, like even if we found one that we liked, would take maybe 6 to 8 months. And it didn't. It went a lot faster than that. Probably because of the multitude of people that we had praying for us, which is fantastic, don't get me wrong. Fantastic that we had that much prayer behind us. But like everything moved so quickly. And we ended up moving in October, and so now we are in Eastern Mass instead of Western Mass, which is great, and here we are. Now you're in my new living room, and I'll eventually show like a apartment tour thing of sorts once we get the place looking decent. We've been going through a lot of like upgrades and like deciding where things go and making use of the space in the most efficient way because we did downsize the apartment. We lost like 200 square feet, which, you know, not insignificant, but you know, it's fine. The other update as to why I didn't vlog in 2022, aside from just life busyness, I've been in a lot of physical pain. Upper shoulders and back have been in not great shape since like last May, and then in October, around the time we were moving, probably brought on by all the stress and all the heavy lifting and everything that we were doing at the time, my lower back decided to join the party of chronic pain. That's where we are right now. So, to get to the meat and potatoes of this video, today is a very special day. We are going to an event, and I realized, hey, you know what? I could vlog this and update people and just remind the world that we're still alive. I mean, if you were friends with us in person, you knew that already, but like, you know, that we're being social and like doing fun things and not just like being sad potatoes on the couch, which is sometimes the case. Chris is turning 32 very soon, which is like a legit adult number, right? I mean, the 30s are a legit adult number, but 32 just seems like there's like something about 32. I don't know. It's cool. So we're going to an event called the Chocolate Expo, which if you've ever been to like a craft fair or something like that, or some vendory or convention type event, basically we're going to be paying to get in, which I've already gotten tickets. And then when we get there, there are going to be vendors. I don't know how many. They said their annual estimate's like 30 to 90, which is an interesting range because it's literally like, if you start with the lowest number, the maximum they've had is 3 times that amount, so I don't even know what to expect. But we'll see. There's supposed to be lots of chocolate involved. There has been talk of wine and cheese and other things that supposedly like could be served with chocolate or gifted with chocolate. And there's like a whole other realm of things where they're like, this is a great palate cleanser for chocolate things. And all in all, just seems like a cool time and like something that y'all might be interested in seeing. So I figured, why not vlog it? We're just gonna do it. So it is 1:30 right now, and I'm waiting for Chris to come home from his church meeting, and then we will be off. So the next time you see me, Chris will be here too. And we're like super married now, and it's great. Hi, Chris.
What up?
Where are we at?
We're in Wilmington, Mass.
Are you excited?
Chocolate Expo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're a little lost right now. We're like just walking, trying to find the place.
Yeah, this is not the expo. We're being exposed to Wilmington,
Yes, and what are your thoughts? I think we're going the wrong way.
I think so too.
Because that says 44.
Yeah, I think we're wrong. Because this woman is leaving the Chocolate Expo, and we've been following her.
Ah.
So I think we're going.
So we're going this way. All right, we're going back.
Yeah.
All right.
We're out following traffic.
1 mile of walking later.
Yeah. Good. The energy level is low right now. We're both a little tired. So now this kind of gives us the energy, the cardio we need to get hyped.
All right. Well, hello. Thank you for being patient with our lighting situation. We had to put Chris's cell phone down here.
So I look even more pale than usual.
We had to put his cell phone down there so that we wouldn't just look like demons in the dark or something. I don't even know. This is going to be a hot mess. So the last time you saw us, we were walking towards the Chocolate Expo.
In the wrong direction.
In the wrong direction. And then we eventually figured it out. Went back in the correct direction. And then walked, what, like a mile?
It was about a mile.
Yeah, from our car to the expo, which honestly, not terrible because, you know, we'd been in the car for a bit.
It's good exercise.
I didn't want to deal with all the cars that would be like at the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then after the expo, the walk back, just walking off all the chocolate calories and everything, you know, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. In a way, it was strategic, even though it was unintentional.
But the expo itself was, even though we were there for the last 2 hours, we're still like really crowded. So we figured we'd do a little like after expo experience walkthrough and actually like talk you guys through what we did and show you guys the footage of that, so that you have our commentary and it's hopefully a bit more cohesive than if I were to just splice in footage out of nowhere with no context. For starters, since this was your birthday event, did you have fun?
I did have fun. They were playing country music, so like that took points off. Like Luke Bryan ruined my birthday a little, but other than that, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, very fun, very interesting.
Yeah, there were quite a few families, which I thought was cool. They kind of had like a little bit of everything, like stuff that was more geared towards kids. They had, you know, alcohol and things that were more geared towards adults. Crowds and people aside, let's talk about the booths. Yeah. The ones that we liked. We went around and collected all their little cards so that we could give you a little update of what we did. Starting off with, how do you pronounce this?
Aeronap.
Aeronap.
Aaron taking a nap.
Sellers. I'm going to put their card on the screen now. Hopefully that's clearer than whatever I would have attempted to show while we were in the car. And they had, I think, 4 different wines, but the one that we tried was a, I believe it was called like Forest Golden Maple Wine, and it's a ice wine, which you got the more detailed explanation on it. What was it? You said a fermented
maple syrup, which, as somebody who knows nothing about fermentation, I didn't realize you could ferment maple syrup. And they told me you can ferment anything with sugar in it. So now I get a little lesson on something that most people probably understand.
I mean, I don't know anything about fermentation either, so
yeah.
We're equally as educated now. And we liked it enough that we got a bottle. So, ta-da! It's a little pricey for us, at least. But, you know, we'll do our research on what people typically do with ice wines and we'll try it. But yeah, it was really, really interesting. It was like...
And it's Massachusetts based, so, you know, I'm biased.
Yeah, I mean, shop local when you can, why not?
Yeah.
So that was our first booth. And second, we turned around and there was this thing called Hill's Food Service. And it's, I guess it's almost like a farm market type situation, but they were essentially advertising like different types of meats and things that they have, and like they'll send to you. I guess they have the delivery service, so maybe like a subscription box. That kind of seems like what these guys were doing, but they had these really good steaks.
Yeah, I don't know what their business actually was, but they had steak samples, and the steak was good. I was not expecting steak at a Chocolate Expo. Yeah, the first 2 booths we went to had nothing to do with chocolate. It was wine and steak, and it was so good. And it's one of those, like, no preservatives, no like growth hormones, no pesticides, all that. And I don't know. I don't know steak well enough to be able to tell the difference necessarily, but I can tell that was like wicked good steak.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. All right. So after steak, because this is a good segue, we went to cookies. And this was from Love JoJo's Cookies. And those were some thick cookies.
Yeah.
Like softly dense, if that makes sense at all.
They looked like they should have been very hard to bite into, or at the very least like dense. Yeah,
like there was a heft factor to it. Like I put it on my hand, as you'll see in this footage here, and like it had some weight.
Yeah.
And then when you bit into it and realized it was soft, like you were thrown for a loop there for a second.
It was very palatable. Palatable's the wrong word, because mine was very sweet, and I really like sweet, but that was like too sweet. I got this M&M cookie, And M&M's are my favorite candy. I love overly sweet processed garbage, but like this cookie was like too sweet.
Yeah, so Chris got the M&M one, which, I mean, I took one bite of, and I was just like, that, I feel cavities happening, even as I bite this. I got a coffee glazed one, so it was like chocolate and then pecans. It wasn't that sweet.
Yeah,
so I think it offset the chocolate that was in the cookie.
Yeah, it was actually better.
I feel like the cookie itself was also like salty sweet a little bit. There was a little bit of salt in there, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in yours, that was like, woo!
Yeah. It was like sweeter than just eating a handful of M&Ms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we came across 2 chocolate stalls that we didn't get to like purchase things. We tried samples from one of them. But one is 2 chicks with chocolate, and the other one was VV-licious treats. And both of them I think will be looking online to see what their chocolate options were. They looked very good.
I don't remember these ones. Which one was the first?
The 2 chicks with chocolate was the one that you had the alcoholic caramel.
It was Jameson and caramel. And I don't like Jameson, but this was pretty good. Also very sweet though.
Yeah. And then they both did like truffles and fancy chocolate and things, but because we went for the later part of the event, they were out of like more of the chocolate samples.
And they're expensive.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. You did try the caramel one from VV-licious.
Oh, that one. I forgot it. That one was good.
It's all coming back to him now.
The dude was saying like, we have the best chocolate in this building right now. I was like, that's a pretty bold statement at a chocolate expo. And then he gave it to me, and it was caramel mousse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was. It tasted more like caramel than chocolate because of the flavoring, but it was good. It like melted in my mouth, and it was like thick. It looked like it was gonna be really dense, but instead it was like very light and flavorful. And I think he can make a good argument for what he was saying about it being the best chocolate.
And that's the comment that kind of like surprised me, was you came back after eating that and you're like, oh, that was so light, and I was like, caramel chocolate, like,
yeah, and
what?
Mousse, like, I mean, is mousse supposed to be light? I don't think I've had a lot of. Thank you.
All right. So to end our Chocolate Expo experience on 3 not chocolate items, we went to, I think this is pronounced as Ansan M.
Couldn't tell you.
Ansan? I don't know how to pronounce this. Oh, no, the M's not separate. I read the back. But yeah, it's I think they said Haitian food. So we had Haitian tacos.
Yeah, that was good.
It was surprising, because I don't usually like pickles, and had some kind of like spicy pickled cabbage or something.
Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
So that was a good call, because I was also a little peckish for like real food. That's not
yeah, I was definitely getting sugared out. I don't know about you, but I was definitely getting a little sugared out, and then that was just kind of like a nice reset button.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, we came across, I don't have their card, but there was this stall, and you'll see the footage here, or I think I took a photo, of a booth that had spicy chocolates with like actual spicy, like peppers in it, like habanero and ghost pepper even, and everything that was lower than a Scotch bonnet was gone. So Chris tried the Scotch bonnet, brave man, and how was that?
It was spicy, dude. I have a very white person level of spice tolerance. And when I get like this wings place I used to go to, you can get buffalo wings from level 1 to 5. I usually get level 2, like little above. I think they're still called wimpy, like at the restaurant. So they're like 1 level above the bottom. So I can't do that much. And like, this wasn't unbearable, this Scotch bonnet, but I definitely needed something to drink afterwards, and they didn't have any like drinks other than the last stall we went to.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, they were selling like bottled water for $2, but like we had water in the car, and it was just like, nah.
Yeah, so it actually tasted pretty good, if I'm being honest, but definitely I wouldn't want to just chow down on this, especially since I have like acid reflux.
So that brings us to our last stall.
What, second?
Or second to last. Thank you. Yeah. Our second to last stall, which was surprising, because I mean, I think in the grand scheme of things, it seemed a little random.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not so random. There were like honey stalls and things.
Yeah.
So on that note, there was a stall called 1634 Meadery. So we tried mead, which is interesting.
I didn't know what mead actually was.
I had like a vague understanding of mead, but I've never had it because I'm a weakling when it comes to alcohol.
It's like what Vikings drink. I know that, which is what their slogan was. So
yeah.
Drink like a Viking or something.
Yeah, and you're like kind of sort of part Viking because you're Norwegian.
Yeah, Norwegian. I mean, I probably get a little bit.
To clarify, he's part Norwegian. He's not actually Norwegian. He's a full-blooded American over here. But what was your inner Viking happy?
It tasted pretty good. I was still recovering from that Scotch bonnet chocolate.
Yeah, I don't know if we did you a favor with that. Just shots of mead.
I don't know. It did taste pretty good, though.
I say shots. It wasn't that much. It was like a little sip.
Yeah, it was a little thing, but it tasted good from what I could tell. I wish I had tried it without trying a spicy pepper beforehand. Because it was like infused with, there was like a lemon blueberry one.
Yeah.
And the first one I had was some kind of sweet honey one. I don't usually like honey, but it was good.
Yeah, and then they had one more. So I tried the blueberry lemon one, which he said was on the drier side, which would make sense as to like why I wasn't necessarily thrilled with how it felt. And then I tried one that was called Topsail, which is also like a blueberry, but it's like blueberry and raisin or some other like mixed some fruit in there. And that one like just burned its way out of my nostrils, and I was just like, yeah, no, I'm a weakling and I can't drink mead. But it was a fun experience. At least now we can say that we've tried mead.
Right.
Especially you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another stall that we forgot about.
Yeah, which one?
The Ecuador chocolate one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
There was a stall. I don't remember the name of the company, unfortunately, but it was Ecuadorian chocolate. And so the woman told me they had 100% dark chocolate from Ecuador. And I was like, 100%, because you go to the store and like usually anything above 70 is like too bitter, right?
Right. Well, also like at the store, I feel like the most that they'll market to you as like this is what you eat is like 90, and then the 100% are like for baking purposes only or something like that. Like they don't put that in the candy section.
Right. I usually don't even see above 85.
Oh.
But yeah, so I was like, she's like, you want to try that? I was like, yeah, that sounds fascinating. And it wasn't bad. It didn't taste anything like what I imagined chocolate to taste like, but it also wasn't as bitter as I was imagining. And so then she gave me a piece that was 95% dark chocolate with 1% sugar added, she told me, and it tasted totally different. She was like, it's going to taste way different even though it's just 1% sugar and still 95%. And I was like, I don't know if I believe you. And then I tried it and it was way different, like way less bitter and tasted closer to like chocolate. Still not what I would imagine eating, but I like trying chocolate from other countries, so that was cool. Now I can say I've tried very bitter Ecuadorian chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you that you had that experience.
Thank you.
Okay, so the last stall is called, is this ABBA?
ABBA, you know.
ABBA, whatever you want to call
Dancing
it.
Queen.
ABBA's Acres. They had a goat's milk fudge, and they gave us a chocolate mint one, which was pretty good.
That was good.
We ended up not buying that, but we did then try hickory syrup, which is basically maple syrup, but from the hickory tree. So it's hickory syrup. And that was like profoundly different from like maple syrup. Like the flavor profile was like very...
I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I don't even... I'm trying to think of how to describe it, but it's like maple syrup. I feel like for me, if I imagine that on a protein like pork or chicken or something, to me is like that would be too sweet for me because I don't like my savory foods to be sweet. Yeah. But this one I could see like putting on meat.
Yeah, the dude said it's good on like steak.
Yeah, like the recommendations they had, that was like steak, salmon, whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could see that because it was like...
I've heard of hickory smoked salmon.
Yeah, I don't
know. So, or hickory smoked sausage. So
maybe.
I guess, but
I mean, they do hickory smoked bacon and
we can
like
try
those things too.
Because we bought some.
Yeah.
So I'll have to experiment with this when well, you can too. You're a better cook than me, but we all have to experiment with this.
Yeah. All right, so closing thoughts. What was your favorite thing that you tried, and what was your, I guess, let's not put anyone on blast. Let's just say, like, what would you suggest if anyone from Chocolate Expo staff were to watch this for some reason? What would you suggest as, like, an improvement?
Improvement, don't play country music. Don't make me listen to Luke Bryan while I'm trying to enjoy chocolate, is what I would suggest. But my favorite experience was, there's a stand we forgot to talk about, actually, with cannolis.
Oh, shoot. I forgot about them.
Yeah, and...
Did we get a card? I don't think we got a card.
I don't think
no, we didn't. We just kind of ate the cannolis and, like, enjoyed it. And...
They were really flustered because they were busy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But, dang, those were good cannolis. I really like cannolis.
You want to tell the people what we got?
I don't remember because I was really confused by what they were saying. But it was like a chocolate casing or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so they said it's a chocolate shell cannoli, which means that it's like the cannoli pastry, cookie, whatever that thing is. Mm-hmm. And then, like, it's literally dipped in chocolate. Mm-hmm. And then they did, like, the cannoli filling, which Chris got the traditional, which means, like, there's nothing in the middle except, like, the cream filling. And then it's dipped on both sides into chocolate chips. And then I got the chocolate chip filling, which is the same thing, except there's also chocolate chips in the middle portion, which I think we both agreed that mine somehow was the better of the two.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
yeah, that might have been my favorite part, because I really like cannolis and they did it really well. Mm-hmm. I'm not like a connoisseur of cannolis, but I'll eat them if they're there, and I did, and I'm glad I did.
You're happy, so I'm happy.
I'm very happy.
Yeah, there you go. There's the first vlog of 2023.
I can turn 32 full of chocolate.
We will catch you guys later. Thank you for watching and for putting up with the weird lighting situation. Hope you enjoyed it, and if the Chocolate Expo ever happens to come to your area or you happen to be nearby, you should consider checking that out, because that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.